Committee members have had a chance to review. I would entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Item number 1 is approval of a minor public works contract with Tri-State Abatement for asbestos abatement services at 613 23rd Avenue East. The total is $4,400. Selvin, welcome.
Welcome. Good evening, councilors.
Good evening.
Thank you all for your attention. This council has approved a residential property at this location for demolition. Upon inspection, we have determined that there is asbestos at this property. So this service contract will provide for the appropriate removal and disposal of that asbestos. We had 2 bidders on this work. We consider the most responsible bidder to be that of Tri-State at the amount noted for $4,400. This is covered in our operations.
Questions?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 1 is approved. Item number 2.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Selvin. Is approval of professional service agreement with Porter Higginbotham Engineering for engineering services on the 36th Avenue East Rainbow Drive Culvert Replacement Project. Total is $49,761. Zach, welcome.
Good afternoon, council.
Good afternoon.
If you'll remember, this was part of the drainage presentation. This is one of the short term, or what we have budget for. The location is at 36th Avenue East at the intersection of Rainbow Drive. Looks picture there. But basically a
Cash,
CMP pipe.
your district, right?
It's actually in my district.
It's on the road, 36 Avenue, split between Alpine
Depending on which side of
and
the
Spring Hill.
Both
So,
of them.
this is the corrugated metal pipe that failed, or has a failing spot and is deteriorating. Public Works went out and patched the spot that's on the edge of the road. It's on the outside edge of the road, but you can see the joint in the pipe there, so this is just gonna continue to happen until we replace this pipe.
If approved, what's the time frame getting this done?
The bid will most likely be in January. We haven't determined, we're trying to, part of this, the design of this is gonna be to minimize the closure on this road as we replace the pipe, so that'll be to be determined, but, should bid January, I would think, no more than 30, 45 days for construction.
Questions?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 2 is approved. Item number 3 is approval of a professional services agreement with Duncan Coker Associates for engineering services on Veterans Memorial Parkway Bridge project. The total $229,342. Zach?
Alright, so I'm pretty sure all y'all know where this is by now.
Oh, yeah.
I had a few pictures up here. This is what Council President asked us to table a few weeks ago. So bringing it back.
I just wanted some time to absorb it, that's all.
Did you absorb it,
I
Councilman?
did. I'm
Any
good.
questions?
I'm good.
Kip?
Save the best.
John, anybody got questions?
I have
Cassius?
no questions.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second. You sure we don't want to talk about this anymore?
You need to
Motion.
close this
I'm
out.
kidding. Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's not time to be a comedian. Item number 4 is approval of a minor public works contract with Alabama Pro Wash for a water tank cleaning. The total is $15,400. Kimberly, welcome.
Hello,
Hello.
this is to wash one water tank by drone with Alabama Pro Wash. And this is in the amount of $15,400 and it's being funded out of Ed Love's operations budget.
Questions?
Which tank is it, Kimberly?
This would be the tank that's on Campus Drive.
The new one?
Yes.
How often do we come and watch that?
Oh, it's just the exterior surface wash, it's not the interior of it. So it just depends on the location of the tank, the area that it's in, so we don't have a set schedule for every tank. Some tanks might be every 5 years, depending on the location of this tank, the trees, the color, all those things play into why you wanna wash it when you do. It's just for aesthetics.
Gotta get ready for
I was
football.
about to say roll tide. Questions?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 4 is approved. Item number 5 is authorization to execute a memorandum of agreement and permissive use permit with Kentuck Museum Association for the Kentuck Festival of Arts. Brenda?
Good afternoon, council.
Good afternoon.
Excited here to advance an MOA with Kentuck to hold their festival in the city of Tuscaloosa for the next 15 years. Ms. Skinner and Kentuck's representatives are here, and if you have any questions. I do want to thank our staff members from CFG Arts and Entertainment, obviously Kentuck, legal, finance, because what this will do is make it a much smoother process for all those entities to work together each year to deliver the festival, particularly from this day's group. The permissive use agreement component will be reviewed, I believe it's by your office, Mr. Holmes, each year for compliance. So this will save a lot of staff time and obviously a lot of information coming back to council for just constant approvals for the festival itself. So kind of a celebratory moment, I would argue. I'm excited to have Ms. Skinner in Kentuck. We've worked a long time on this, so very, very excited about this particular item.
This is a memorandum of understanding about everything we're collaborating with that we know of
This is
right
specific
today.
to the festival.
Just to the festival.
This is specific
Just-
only
okay.
to the festival.
Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
does it, for that entire 15 years, well, what are the basic covenants? Location?
It's within the city of Tuscaloosa, I would assume, and I don't,
It's not specified to,
No,
Landmark?
I imagine that's where we'll be, but I think there's flexibility just in the event of 15 years change could happen and you may need to pivot, and so that provides Kentuck and also the city flexibility. But I think that would be the intention of
Okay,
council.
so what are the basic covenants, the big ones?
It's essentially the big covenants, or it's 15 years. They're going to deliver the festival. We will deliver the in-kind services much like we did last year. And that's essentially the extent of it. And then the alcohol component
Who
is.
pays who, or is anybody paying anybody?
No, sir.
Nobody's paying anybody, okay?
No, sir.
Come have it on our property, we'll do the services, you bring the people.
And I would imagine, yes, sir. And I would imagine each year there would probably be some minor adjustments on the in-kind side. We probably did more last year, have it can recalibrate and kind of go down a little bit and adjust. ESD, TPD, CFG, Public Works, or other offices, since now that we've kind of delivered it, we know what we need to improve upon, what we could do better and faster. Ms. Skinner provided us a tremendous amount of notes in a positive way that we've already worked with Ms. Day on to tackle.
What's the
So,
date?
yes, I was gonna say that.
It's October 11th and 12th, and the VIP party is gonna be Friday night on October 10th.
I would say it was great. I mean, it was just great last year, and I'm anticipating it'll be better. And I just can't imagine where you'd have it if it wasn't Snow Hinton Park. I just can't imagine.
Well, it's
But,
hard for us to imagine having it anywhere else.
So,
Exciting.
It is very exciting, and I do want to thank Ms. Skinner and Ms. Eccles, who's not here, but been a tremendous group to work with, meeting the moment at every step, and also our team members as well, and this will make it a much smoother process, and really be able to just highlight a first-class festival within our community, and really adds to the quality of life portfolio that we currently have.
Questions? Any other questions? Got a motion?
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 5 is approved. Item number 6 is approval of a right-of-way use permit to create a community garden for the neighbors of Heritage Hills.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is a right-of-way use permit. It's a little different than what we normally see. Typically, we're doing something on a sidewalk or a building that's adjacent to our right-of-way. There is actually a parcel in Heritage Hills that is approximately 2.5 acres. A lot of it is drainage ditch, and I think there's either a water line or a sewer line that runs through there. But up towards the front, right in the neighborhood, is basically what looks like an empty parcel for the neighborhood. Ms. Glenn, who is here, approached, I believe, Mr. Crow about this in the spring and wanted to do just a community garden for the neighbors of the neighborhood. We've had Mr. Gardner's team has surveyed it for us, so we have a survey that kind of sets out the little bit of square for it. And so this would allow us to execute the right-of-way use permit to allow them to put that garden there.
So it's all city right away?
Yes, sir, it's on city right-of-way.
You thought of it? Nice idea. Nice idea.
A great thing for the
I
neighborhood.
make a motion.
Is there any ongoing maintenance on our part, or?
We cut it, and so we have, and part of the permit
Or
will,
we mow it?
we mow it, yes, sir. Part of the permit will delineate where Miss Glenn is growing her garden and her neighbors, so Mr. Thompson's folks don't take out the first crop.
Please be careful about that.
And is it for residents of the neighborhood? Is it for, what's,
Just residents.
just residents? Oh, cool, I think it's a neat idea.
I think my only question is about the water. So whether I need to have a meter, water hookup installed and how much that would cost would maybe.
So the permit as written would allow you to have a water meter installed. Our standard meter set, and Ms. Michael can correct me, would be somewhere around $1,100 plus whatever the water bill is.
Yeah, it depends on what size meter you need, that you're looking for out there, but yes.
So I guess I'm wondering if there's any alternative to
Not that we have with 772 and also with our bond covenants for our water sewer debt. There's not any real way around that for us. We do that at Para for Soco Park and.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 6 is approved. Item number 7 is an update to the committee and council on the status of the downtown University corridor.
Yeah, I'll introduce it. I know this thing has been moving along in fits and starts, and it's still moving along in fits and starts. But Jimmy, I did want us to get an update on just where in the planning process we are. I see Brendan, is that?
Michael. We're gonna tag team you a
You're
little
gonna
bit.
do it?
So we've gotten we engaged Duncan Coker to prepare design up to 50%. The effort there was for us to formulate a accurate cost estimate to see what the improvements were gonna be. And we now have that cost estimate along with that 50% set of plans that are under review at our office. Our estimate, including all the buy-in with paying for overhead and underground, is right around $35 million. The next step would be for us to start looking at how we would want to phase the construction. From a timing perspective, a duration of construction activity, and also, a cost for a particular phase. If we picked a third of the project down on the campus end or whatever, what's that cost going to be, and how would we prepare to construct that with as little impact to our community as possible?
Like not during the middle of football season.
Like not during the middle of football. That's exactly right.
So I think, Mr. Moore, Ms. Standridge, between the two of you, can y'all give us an update over what money is where for this? And I realize there's a lot to come and be done, but there's some squirreled away.
Yeah, Mike, A&F provided it over, Mike, you wanna,
I think we're at
please,
nine, a little over 9 million, maybe 9.5, somewhere in that neighborhood.
9.5 for this portion of it, and then we did do the full $10 million bond issuance in 2025 for the eastern side, but then there was planned to be something left over that would be able to go into the western side if there was any. But so 9.5 for sure.
And that, the 9.5's in Elevate, Chad.
Correct.
And then anything left over out of the 10 from the 2025 bond, check. And that's, I'm assuming that's what we can see at this.
Do we know kind of what we think the whole scope of the project would be, dollar-wise?
That's
Yeah,
the
still
number,
35.
that's 35 million.
35
North part
Yeah.
30.
And this is streetscape.
for the whole, streetscape and the whole
It's-
update, right? Of the whole,
Yeah, that's everything.
the whole
That's,
corridor.
that's all, handling all the utilities, which is converting, the overhead to underground, the streetscape, lighting, that's the whole project.
I've got a base question that I feel a little self-conscious asking, but again, this project's been going on since Lee Garrison was
Calderon. That's a long time
Cal,
ago.
this has been underway a long time. What are the base goals of this 7 or 8 block stretch?
I can speak for me. I think I look at it in a couple of sections. One, the section in the university proper, really from Reed Street back to Wallace Way, is safety along the strip and strip corridors, pedestrian access, vehicle movements, et cetera, just because of the amount of people that are in that area. As you move from Reed Street to Queen City, I think creating that connectivity, that pedestrian connectivity that right now is it's almost a no man's land between the university and our downtown proper. So improving that pedestrian access, lighting, our camera technology, et cetera. Then from Queen City back to, I guess it's the 19th, where the federal courthouse is, continuing the streetscape that started at University Boulevard in Greensboro and moving that back east to meet with Queen City. So I really see it in 3 sections. I don't know, our engineering team doesn't necessarily look at it that way. So those would be my three primary goals. And certainly we want to continue to figure out maybe how we can divide this project up in segments. Because I don't think under any scenario there's 35 to 40 million to do this at one time. So where can we do segments? Where can we get partners in those segments too? I think it's going to be something too we're interested in talking with other people.
If this whole project was funded and was done at once, to go with what Walt said, is this going all the way from Almond Avenue or right by the courthouse? It would go all the way where?
Wallace Way.
What?
Wallace Way.
To Wallace Way. So
I
From
don't think-
Almond- from
I don't
Almond
think it
to-
would be, and
Huh?
Mike can jump in on this.
Okay.
I don't think it would be feasible due to the invasiveness and distance to do that probably all at one
Right.
time due to the level of disruption. So as Mayor Maddox alluded to, we're kind of looking at Queen City to Reed as a section, Queen City back into downtown, and obviously Reed to Wallace Way. And that would have raised intersections to control the speeding in that area, wider sidewalks, underground utilities, obviously working with Chief and our security plan teams. You've seen you add some bollards out there, both hydraulic in the street and also on the sidewalk. So you'll have a lot of those features as well. The most cost-effective segment is actually from Reed Street to Wallace Way.
Towards the center of the strip?
Yes, sir. That is the most logical place to start from both the cost and a time standpoint. Be a little bit faster and probably, I guess it's only really a third approximately of that cost, full cost estimate, approximately.
I think a lot of the utilities are already underground in this area, so there's not that cost like you would incur in the downtown portion where we've got the overhead distribution and everything has to go underground. There's just some advantages from cost perspective starting on that end of the corridor. One thing that we'll be analyzing with the help of Duncan Coker is, the segments that we choose to look at as a phase, how does it work with our infrastructure? One of the key elements is maybe storm drainage. If you've got to improve your storm drainage for increasing runoff, then how do we coordinate that with maybe the piece that's in the next phase that's not going to be as functional? So those are things that we got to look at from a technical aspect and come back and say, here's our recommendation for a phase. And it's pretty complicated because those phases also need to work in timelines in and around campus activities.
So Mike or Jimmy or Mayor, I'm sure there has to be some other strictures applied to this. I mean, obviously, this is a main artery smack in the middle of town. So are there imposed on it, okay, but whatever you do, don't restrict traffic to blank, or make sure you restrict it to blank? How are we dealing with those parameters?
I think that's one of the reasons why we would probably want to sit down and talk with you. I mean, each segment's gonna have its own I mean, there's going to be some stakeholder group.
We know it's gonna be going this way.
Yes, and so, looking at it segment by segment is gonna be probably our best way to do it. If we want to push out sidewalks, create more pedestrian access, then the trade-off most likely is loading zone area. You lose your loading zone area. So when you lose your loading zone area, now you have businesses who go, we can't unload X, Y, or Z because you've improved the sidewalks. But if we don't improve the sidewalks and traffic flow and the raised cross sections, then we lose on the public safety side. And so,
And then you've got the accessibility through the middle of town, onto the bridge at traffic. I mean, so that's
what we'd like to do
gonna
is
be a fur
is
fight all the
take
way
it,
around.
Mr. Busby, I think my recommendation would be to you, and then ultimately to our entire city council, would be to take it in those segments and treat each segment. Of course, they'll all interlock, but we can take it segment by segment. I do think a good test case for us will be the Greensboro Avenue project from 7th back down to Greensboro. University. I think that's going to give a good foreshadowing of what these types of projects can look like and what it means to pedestrian access, and also show that you can have both pedestrian access and business. It takes a little bit more coordination in terms of business deliveries. It certainly takes a little bit more coordination. It takes the utilization of side streets, but I do think that possibility can exist, and I think that'll be a good test case for us when that project gets led in May of 26, right, Mike? When it gets led, when it gets led in March of 26 and goes under construction in May of 26.
We break ground in May of 26.
That's right. Just confirming that detail.
And then, Mike, do you know, or Brendan, we actually have substantial University Boulevard improvement, essentially from a 21st, maybe 20th down. I mean, how old is that? I mean, we came in and put those medians,
1980s.
we put that landscaping on the side. We put those
88.
trees with the grapes. Who knows how old that
96.
is?
On the
Night-
strip
around night-
area?
On University Boulevard, if
1980s.
you walk out, right.
That was in the mid-80s, Council.
Mid-80s?
Yes, sir. That's the
Okay, so
mid-80s.
40-ish years old. But we didn't we did those plantings, we built the medians up in the middle of University
That is correct. Yes,
Boulevard,
sir.
we built turn lanes in several places, right?
Yes, sir.
And then we've continued to add a turn lane right down at the traffic light where we had the pedestrian killed in
Yeah.
20.
Right there in front of the federal courthouse and Cayless Bank, that's where that's where it terminates what was originally done.
I think another determining factor, Mr. Busby, too, is going to be just right of way.
Is the what? The
Right
right
of
of
way.
way? What is that issue, Mayor?
Right of way acquisition.
I know, but who, are we, does that right of way belong to who?
Well, it's a city.
It's
I mean,
the city.
The city's right of way, but where you have to, because some of the earlier iterations of this had massive right of way acquisition because of, bike lanes being, taking property and putting in bike lanes on top of property or parking, which would not be doable. It wouldn't be feasible, number one. It wouldn't be politically feasible, number two. So we really want to try to work within our rights of way to make this project. We'll do everything possible within our own rights of way to mitigate cost in this project. That's going to be another factor too. We're going to be, coming to you ultimately with a recommendation on this to really restrict the amount of right of way we have to acquire in this project.
To Mayor Maddox's point, we're essentially trying to operate within our own right of way, trying to limit any type of additional steps. There may be a property or two or some items we may have to work through in some various stretches, but it will be very minimal, very, very minimal impact on property side. And that will make it faster and easier, more efficient for all parties. So we're going to stay within our boundaries.
I'm having a dense moment. We own the right of way, right, Chuck?
We just don't want to acquire outside of that right.
We don't want
We
to
don't
go
wanna
outside.
acquire outside of it.
We don't, yeah.
We're gonna try to operate within our boundaries, both from cost and also to limit the
And in
acquisition.
general, is there a line of understanding that we can use as just a general understanding? The right of way that belongs to the businesses on the street frontage, is that what we're talking about, not wanting to have to acquire?
Well, I mean, it doesn't belong to them. I mean, it's the city's rights of way. I think we just don't want to go any deeper. In the strip area, it'd be about impossible. You'd be getting into eminent domain issues at that point. But even as you move from Reed Street back up to Queen City, you still have limited areas to work. And the other challenge, by the way, is you got power poles that run through the center of sidewalks. I mean, the utility easements that run through there, it is complicated. That's why I agree with Brendan. I think our first look needs to be from Reed Street back to Wallace Wade. You got most of your utilities out of the way. You can work within your right of way. And then you begin thinking long-term about Reed to Queen City and then Queen City back to 19. But we want to sit down and talk to you about it.
Okay, well, I
I'll say
appreciate
that,
it.
Counselor, in the weeks in advance, we're working with Duncan Coker and their firm, Mike, myself, and Bill, to get some deliverables and time schedules, kind of your chunks, as we were just discussing. What does that look like from a timing perspective, the level of invasiveness? How can we sequence it? Considerations around our calendar, as you noted, with game season, what are those windows of times we can operate with them? So we would expect something within a few weeks back from them
Okay,
to start.
and I appreciate the process update. I just wanted to know where in this we think we are.
We want to make sure we're methodical, so when we bring to you the next steps, we can complete and go to 100% design, that we have everything ironed out. As Mr. Gardner noted, and Mayor Maddox, there's a lot going on above ground and underground in that stretch, both from water and sewer and also from just aerial utilities. We want to make sure we have everything locked in. There's ordering timelines, making sure all the components are there, proper notification, not disrupting really one of the heart of our economic engine at key times, obviously. So there's just a lot of things we're going to have to sequence. So and some adjoining property owners will need to make sure we engage as well. So, yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Mike.
Good.
Thanks, Chairman.
Good update.
Thank
Is there any other business to be brought before our committee? Our next committee meeting will be Tuesday, September the 9th. We will not meet next Tuesday because I cannot believe it's Labor Day. So as we head into the first home football,
We will
First
have a
home
work
football
session
game
Tuesday and
next
Wednesday
weekend.
morning.
We've got a work session, Tuesday morning, so.
8:30
Hearing
to
no
10:30.
new business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second.